right now it is time for us to check sports, and let's bring in Mike Cozzi. Good morning, Mike.
Good morning.
Well, it happened again in Major League Baseball yesterday.
What happened?
No hitter.
Oh, really? I don't pay attention to Major League Baseball. Not while the College World Series is on.
And the College World Series had a pretty good game last night, right?
Yeah, once it started at 11:15.
Man.
They had rain out there.
Man, 11:15. You didn't stay up for the whole game, did you?
No, when Texas got ahead pretty decent, I shut it off. Texas beat Virginia yesterday. That was the only game of the day. But, yeah, it was supposed to start at 7, and it didn't start until 11:15.
What about that Islander game the other night?
Good game.
Yeah.
Surprised me that they won. They got shellacked the day before, 2 days before, and they come back to win yesterday to force a Game 7. You got to give them credit for that. But tonight we see what happens. Tonight, everything that happened prior means nothing.
7th game, and the winner goes to the Stanley Cup.
You know what's amazing? This is the first time Tampa's in a game where they could be what they call elimination game in like the last 4 years of the playoffs that they've been in it. They've never gotten to a Game 7. So that's going to be interesting to see how they react to it. They lost their top defenseman earlier in the game on a cross check. They're crying that it was illegal. Well, I seen a couple other cross checks that they put on Islander players that weren't called. So shut up. So they lost Kucherov. So that's a big loss for them. I don't know if he's playing tonight or not. If not, it's going to be a little bit easier for the Islanders to maybe win. But like the announcer said, they've had Kucherov for the last 6 games, or 5 games if you don't want to count that, and they didn't beat the Islanders the way they were supposed to beat them anyway. So, let's see if the Islanders can make it. Montreal, first time since 1993 in the Stanley Cup Final.
28 years.
Well, let's just talk about stupidity for a minute. Can we talk about stupidity?
Absolutely.
They let 3,500 people in the arena. They had 20,000 people outside the arena watching it on screen, standing shoulder to shoulder. So you explain to me how that kept people safe.
Well, there is a perfect example of how it does one thing opens up the door to the other. You're right. If you're going to have 20,000 people standing shoulder to shoulder, and you're going to have inside the arena, 15 to 17,000?
35. Yes, in the arena, I think it's about 17 or 18,000.
And so if you have them wear masks and you have them wear masks outside, there is no difference there. You're shoulder to shoulder. You're right. That was absolutely foolish.
Stupidity. Just absolute stupidity.
If you're going to have 20,000 people standing there, shoulder to shoulder, just put them in the god-darn arena, and and have them in the arena. I mean, anyways, but they didn't. But at least I think it's kind of cool that the Canadiens are in.
I think it's great. I think it would be really cool to see the Islanders play Montreal, because that happened way back when in the 80s, I'm sure, at some point, and they probably haven't played each other in the playoffs since. I think that would be pretty cool to see that.
I just remember loving and hating the Canadiens all at once when they were in their heyday. They were just a terrific team that flew like the devil. Always had big, great goaltenders, and they were like the Yankees of the 50s.
Well, they got this kid they picked up. I don't even think he was on the roster. That just either when the playoffs started or just before the playoffs, the kid wasn't even on the roster. He was a draft from University of Wisconsin. The kid is a dynamo. The kid's like Jan Kiermaier when he used to play for Montreal. He's a speedy forward that scores a lot of goals, and he scores some big goals for them in this series against Vegas, and probably was the difference. So in hockey, when you get a player that's of that magnitude, that single player can make a difference in a playoff, and this kid Caulfield's done it. He's really, really. He's a really good player with a big, big future. He was a big scorer for the University of Wisconsin, and he just kept on scoring right now for the Canadiens. So the Canadiens are in, and the Islanders play Tampa tonight.
How about that Red Sox-Tampa Bay game? I'm sorry. It ends. It goes into the inning with a pitcher pitching once again, a combined no-hitter. But they win on a walk-off wild pitch.
It happened the other night in college baseball, too. That's how Vanderbilt won. The guy, the kid from, who was it now? Who were they playing? I don't remember who they were playing. Stanford. And they were pitching a no-hitter into the 8th inning. And then between the 8th and the 9th inning, they lost the game. And in the 9th inning, Vanderbilt won on a walk-off wild pitch. So 2 days in a row it happened to teams.
And what's interesting about it is it was fairly close at the plate, but it wasn't like there was a lot of room behind the back once the pitch got by. But it's amazing to see that. All right, well, where else do you want to go in sports? You got racing?
Back to the College World Series. Okay. 2 games today. 2 undefeateds play 2 teams they can eliminate. North Carolina State, who's undefeated, plays Vanderbilt today at 2. And tonight at 7, Mississippi State, who's undefeated, plays Texas, who won last night. So 2 teams can get eliminated. If the Dogs win, they play again tomorrow. So it's down to 4.
All right. And any racing this weekend?
Well, we still got one more thing to talk about.
What was that?
Now we can talk about the disgusting fact of Major League Baseball. What they're doing with this baseball is ridiculous.
Oh, it's crazy.
They basically, Joe Girardi basically made Scherzer do a strip search on the field. Are you kidding me?
Yep.
Are you kidding me?
Yep.
This is so stupid. Back when we played baseball, if the ump thought you were doctoring the ball, what did he do? He said, "Can I see that ball?" And you looked at the ball. Why are you checking out the guy's body? He could have whatever he wants on his body. Unless he's putting it on the baseball, it doesn't matter. I mean, just because I have a gun in my pocket doesn't mean if I walk into the bank, I'm going to rob the bank, does it? Until I rob the bank, I'm innocent. So is a pitcher. He can have pine tar. He can have whatever, atom bomb, whatever he wants to put on him. He can have that on his body, but unless it's on the baseball, it doesn't matter. So all you got to do is look at the baseball. That's all you got to do. If you see a baseball move a little bit erratically and say, wow, that pitch really moved a lot, let me see the baseball. If there's nothing on it, okay, give it back to him, let him pitch. Yeah. Stupid.
It would be like checking batters for cork in the bat every time they come up. They would. I'm sorry.
Yes, because it's ridiculous. Yeah. All right, let me cut the bat open and see what's inside the bat. Come on. All you got to do is look at the baseball. Yeah. That's all you got to do. And they change the baseball almost every pitch anyway.
Yeah, it's just ludicrous.
And they cry about lengthening the time of a baseball game, and they're doing it now. I think they're just trying to get more theatrics in the game, hoping people watch it. Oh, look, he's cheating.
Yeah.
Come on, give me a break.
Yeah, it's foolish. It's a rule that should go away. It's a rule that should go away. If you catch them cheating, then you make it harsh, and once they get caught. I mean, it's been a part of baseball, and checking them and getting them has been a part of baseball since baseball's been around. So.
And these penalties that they give players, especially for a pitcher, oh, you're out five games. Yeah. Big deal. What's that mean? He's not even going to miss a start. Yeah. He's not even going to miss a start. You got to make it so that they lose pay and they miss starts. That's what you got to do. You got to say, okay, so you as a pitcher, if I would have given an everyday player a 5-game suspension, you got a 21-day suspension. How's that? Huh. Because now you're going to miss 4 starts. It's stupid. Baseball's so dumb.
Yep, it's like everything else. It becomes much too complicated.
Like everything else is right.
Much more complicated than it has to be. All right, any racing now?
Yeah, tomorrow, big races at Churchill Downs. Hopefully it's not raining there. The 7th race tomorrow, it's called the War Chant, who's a good horse, was a good horse. They changed this from something, God knows what. God forbid you leave history alone. You can't do that. You got to keep on changing history. So whatever this used to be called, it's now called the War Chant, 1 mile on a turf. We got 8 horses lining up in here, 2 horses I like. One is down on the inside of Credit, ridden by Sophie Doyle. There's a name you don't hear too often from coming out of my mouth. But this horse is undefeated on the turf, winning at Keeneland and winning at Churchill Downs. At a mile race, this horse has some early speed, which is something you need at Churchill because it's been real hard to close on that grass course of yet. So the one, a Credit, is going to get my vote in here. And the horse I'm going to use with him is going to be the 6 horse, El Kabong. This horse is 2 for 2 at Churchill Downs with the win in the second. Jimmy Graham keeps the mount. Just broke his maiden at a mile distance, but this horse has run a mile distance 3 out of the 4 times it's run, and this horse has run pretty good every time. So we're going to go with the 1 a credit and the 6, El Kabong, in the 7th race tomorrow at Churchill. In the 10th race at Churchill, they got a couple baby races, which I'm not going to give out online because you never know what the baby race is. In the 10th race is the Grade 2 Wise Dan, a mile and a 16th on the turf. The 1 horse, Set Piece, is the favorite, trained by Brad Cox. This is a win machine. This horse has 15 lifetime starts with 8 wins. He's 4 starts at Churchill with 3 wins, coming off a win in an overnight stake, winning by 4 at a mile and a 16th. Florent Giroux stays aboard. Deservingly, this horse will be the favorite and is going to be used in my exacta box. A couple horses I'm going to use with it. One is going to be the 8 horse, Field Pass. This horse has never been off the board on the grass at Churchill Downs. 4 starts with a win, a second and 2/3. Has some tactical speed in this race. Has 2 races this year, 1 at Keeneland, 1 at Belmont, with less than premium conditions in Grade 1s. This race is not a Grade 1, so he's meeting a little lesser class of horses. This horse has some tactical speed, and getting the firm turf, I think, is really going to improve Field Pass. The other horse I'm going to use is the 10 horse, In Love. This horse is a grandson of Sunday Silence. That's all I need to see. 3 races stateside since coming from Argentina, 2 at Churchill Downs. Has a second and a third at Churchill, a win at Keeneland. This horse runs very well on the turf. 20-1 morning line is ridiculous. Definitely include this horse in your number to boost up your exactas and your trifectas. So the 1 Set Pace, the 8 Field Pass, and the 10 In Love is going to be my play in the 10th. And then the last race, the big race of the day, is the Grade 2, which used to be a Grade 1, Stephen Foster. A mile on the dirt. All roads in this race go through Maxfield. Since the debacle out in California, this horse came back to win the Grade 2 Ali Sheba handily by almost 4 lengths at the end of April on opening weekend at Churchill Downs. Maxfield gets the top vote in here. 2 horses I'm going to use with him. One is going to be the 1 horse, Chess Chief. Never won at Churchill Downs, but has been running pretty good this winter down at the fairgrounds. Picks up Johnny Velasquez for Dallas Stewart. Dallas Stewart's always throwing big numbers into things, and I expect Chess Chief to be the big number in this one. So the 1 I'm going to use in the exacta and the try, and the 3 Necker Island. Here's another horse, is a horse for course. Has 3 wins lifetime out of 13 starts. All 3 wins come at Churchill. He's 3 for 6 at Churchill. 2 races this year, 1 at Oaklawn, 1 at Churchill. Ran very good in both of them. This horse is 15-1 morning line, so might be able to cash a decent ticket off of Maxfield, who's expected to be a pretty big favorite. So in the 11th race, the 8th Maxfield with the 3 Necker Island, and the 1 Chess Chief will wrap it up for this weekend at Churchill Downs, which is closing weekend.
All right, Mike, we'll check with you on Monday morning. Have a good weekend.
Oh, I will. You got Churchill tomorrow. You got baseball game, 2 big baseball games today in college, and the Islander game. A lot of good sports today.
All right, Mike, have a great weekend.
You too, guys.
Mike Cozzi with the Check on Sports this morning here on the Breakfast Club on Robin Hood Radio.